Alright guys, so one of the things that I am going to do since I did this tubular front now is I'm going to move my radiator to the back. That seems to be the cool thing now, moving the radiator to the back. It's supposedly a hell of a lot better, keeping the car cool. I'm doing it simply because I want a cleaner, more room up front, and I don't want to cut open my valance. This is pretty much just a prerequisite of not having heating problems come this summer. There's a couple of things you got to do, and I'm going to do a couple of things that people don't believe you can do. One, I'm going to use my stock F-body water pump. Yep, stock belt-driven water pump. You talk to people online, they tell you gotta, no, you gotta buy a $500 Mazir 55-gallon, mount it to your radiator, I'll sell you a radiator with a pump for $4,000. No, that's ridiculous. So what we're gonna do is, we're gonna modify, I tried to sell my stuff, so I didn't modify it, and I was just going to buy a new radiator, a new water pump, and weld fittings on it and do it. But you know what? I'm done dealing with people offering me $300 for all this stuff. I'm done. What I'm going to do is I'm going to modify the stuff I have. So I got my radiator here, and it's got two -20 inlets and outlets on it. Or one of each, I'm sorry. Well, you don't want to run -20 line back under the car. I don't want to run -20 line. It's big. It's expensive as hell. I think it's like $500 for 20 feet. And they're in the wrong spots anyway. You don't want these fittings facing down into the car. Granted, I probably could put it up high enough that it won't matter. So, we're going to cut these fittings off. We're going to weld them shut. I have some -16 fittings that we're going to drill and weld into the side. That's right, I'm going to put them both on one side, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to split this radiator in half right here. I'm going to cut it open, slide in a piece of aluminum, and weld it shut, and make this a dual pass radiator. Dual pass radiators are more efficient, so we'll cut this open, weld that, weld those. I'll probably cut the cap off, weld that shut. And I also have to make mounts. I don't know how I'll make those yet, but let's get the shroud ripped off and my other mounts ripped off. To their customers. Cylinder network, you need that done, you need cylinder. Since 1981, Guard has been an industry leader. I'm kind of nervous about cutting this all up. I'm not the best aluminum welder. I can get it to go, you know, but there's only one way to learn, and at the end of the day, if I mess this thing up, it's like a $170 radiator, so I'm not going to be too mad about it. Those two cut off, ground down, ready to be welded shut. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to drill the tank on it and get those fittings fit in. This is going to sit under the car like this, and I want them to go down the passenger side, so I'm going to put the fittings here. Got my two -16 aluminum fittings, Monkey Fab Garage, and using my stepper. You're also going to want to take a file, make sure you get all the little pieces off the back side so they don't break down later, get stuck in your cooling system somewhere. They're going to be my two fittings. Like I said, I'm going to cut a notch in it here all the way around, slide in a piece of aluminum, and weld it back shut. That's the part I'm most nervous about, is cutting a notch in this thing. So I got it marked where to cut that out right there so we can slide it in and weld it up. So you guys could see what I'm doing there. I'm running just a piece of aluminum back in the center of it. The original idea for the mounts. We're using the mounts I had, and what I ended up doing was welding some 1/8 inch aluminum straps on each side. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out how to hold this up under the car, and I'm going to make brackets that come down and bolt to this so it makes it easier to come in and out. I got to figure out how to position this up under the car so I can make the brackets. Kind of a four-handed job, so I'm going to figure that out. I got that radiator mounted up under the car. Oh man, what a prick that was. By myself, it was a real pain in the ass. I'm not 100% happy with it, but it's going to ride until I put a bigger radiator in the car. So you can see I got the straps, and what I did was I welded tabs up onto the bar. I know it looks like it's only tacked, but it's fully welded on the other side. Put it on the bar, and I bolted the straps through. It's insanely sturdy. It don't budge. Like, it's kind of scary how sturdy it is, because now I'm feeling like it's gonna crack. This side I fucked up on. I welded the tab in the wrong spot, so I made that strap, and this is what I was worried about, but I mean, I can't budge it at all. So let me back up here and show you. You can see how high it is. You know, you really can't see it from under the car. I'll probably fix that one side where it's only got the one strap going across to both mounts. I don't know if I'm gonna have to. It's pretty damn sturdy. The thing don't budge. So I don't know what to do about that. I don't know if I should make a bar and put more tabs on it to weld it the right way. Well, I don't know if it's the right way, because, you know, who says that's the wrong way? Because when I put the hoses on there, it'll probably make it even more sturdy. So I don't know if that thing will actually go anywhere mounted like that. I mean, it's more rigid mounted than it was when it's in the front of the car, stock. On to the next order of business for this. And what that involves is an expansion tank. Oh God, taking down the house. Now that you put your radiator in the back, it's below your engine, and you now lost your high point in the system. You're going to need an expansion tank. It's just simply a tank with a radiator cap on it. You got your in and out, and you got a nipple going out, so you can have an overflow. You always have to have an overflow. No matter what anybody says, I'm pretty sure it's NHRA rules, you got to have one. Well, I found this on Amazon. It was like 40 bucks. It's a Moroso knockoff. It is cheap Chinese. You can tell by welding it. I welded a dash 16 into the bottom already. I got to grind down this side and weld a dash 20 into the side of that. You're probably asking, why a dash 20 to a dash 16? Here's the thing. Like I said, I'm running the stock pump on this car, and it already had a dash 20 fitting welded on for my previous setup. I already have a hose made with the fittings on it. So I'm just going to put the dash 20 in here and run that hose over for my water pump, and done. I don't have to spend any more money. I don't have to cut the water pump, take the pulley off, weld the fitting on that, weld the fitting on here, and go through all that. This way, I really don't foresee anything dramatically happening because of that. I don't foresee any issues. We'll put it that way. Dash 20 welded on. It's not perfect like the rest of my aluminum welds, but I am slowly getting better. I'm gonna have to cap this and put some air in it, make sure it don't leak. And what I do is I just, I got a radiator cap, I'll put that on. And what I do is I just stick air on one side with a rag and spray a little Simple Grade on there and see if any bubbles come up. That'll leak. Cool. And what I gotta do now is I gotta weld the top. I cut it down, I gotta weld the top on it. Made a little puck. Weld this top on here. Okay, I skipped ahead a little bit. I got into just going and going, and I forgot to turn the camera back on. So my coolant expansion tank slash overflow is almost complete. You can see I welded a top on here, and this is a serious lesson in spending money on good material. It's not that much more, and for such a crappy welder that I am, it came out much better on this good quality piece of aluminum than it did on this Chinese steel. Chinese aluminum, I'm sorry. You could see the difference. It held, it works. It's not nearly as pretty, but for a beginning welder with the aluminum, I'll take it. I welded a strap on the back. Well, I welded it to the flange, and then I put a little triangle brace on it, welded that, welded it to the tank, and I just made this bracket that I'm going to, that's steel, I'm going to weld to the bar, like so. Alrighty, not too shabby. I'm getting it with the TIG. I was going great, and then wham! And you can see I finished it off. It's a sealed tube, so what I think has happened is it was a gas blowout. I'm not 100% sure, but it blew out. I'm very happy with my welds coming along, though. They're getting there. And then I went that blech. But you can see I'm going to probably turn this a little. There's a better view of it. So I'll probably turn it up. You can see that's the upper hose from there. This is a Motion Raceworks thermostat housing with a -16 orb fitting in it, and I got a -1690 coming off. This is going to go all the way to the back to the bottom of the radiator, and my -16 fitting right here is going to come out and go all the way to the back to the top of the radiator. Super simple, guys. Pretty much the same stuff, just 20 feet away. Or 15 feet, whatever the hell, you know, however long it is. We're going to give this a shot and see how well it does. I'm already loving how much more room is under this hood now. And we'll give it a try. We'll see. You know, I can't guarantee this is going to work 100%. It's a smaller radiator. It's a stock pump. But we'll see. I will put a bigger radiator in before I change the pump if I have heating issues. I could fit a radiator probably, you know, oh God, 7-8 inches wider and probably 4 inches taller. And Griffin sells a universal radiator. It's like 22 by, I don't know, 29, 30. That is already a dual pass. So if I go that route, I'll probably, it's like $250. I'll go that route, buy that one, seal them off, put the fittings back in the side, and go from there. But that involves making a new fan shroud. I'd probably go to a dual fan setup because I'd have more space to do it. But, you know, we'll cross that bridge when it comes. Who knows? This setup might work just fine. And I won't have to change anything. Fingers crossed, because that's what I'm hoping for. I hope you guys liked it. You know, I'm not going to show you guys running the lines. You know, it's making AN lines. We've done this before. We've ran it before, you know, and not every car is the same. So I'm not going to show you making those because that's all I have left to finish up the coolant system minus rerouting the wire to the back for the fan now. Also, you got to make that wire a little bit bigger now because it's much further away. You know, so I'm probably going to run 12 gauge wires back to my fan. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. Get out in the garage, work on your hot rod. Get something accomplished. It's Saturday. I got my coolant system almost done. I got my intercooler mounted. I'm going to go work on some other stuff now. Have a good night, guys.